All right, guys, is this better? Let's see, less laggy. I'm doing something a little bit different, which should be a little bit less taxing on the computer. So tell me, how's the, I know again, this is the first go around. We're gonna have more structure, not like a car structure, but we're gonna have more structure next time, and we're gonna have more substance when it comes to the streaming, the video quality, and the everything. I'll get that taken care of. I underestimated a few things, obviously, but Jacob, I appreciate you telling me that looks good. I'm just going to look at one other thing here. Let's see. Okay. All right, cool. Audio. Those numbers are better than before. So, all right. Let me just see this right here. Come on. Don't give me trouble. All right. Let's see one. Okay, fine. All right, hey, a quick note on the Maybach. The Maybach is interesting. I wanted to bid on this one. Okay, this is a while back. This car's been for sale forever, and they're not going to get $30,000 for it. That's absolutely insane. So that's insane for this car, and I'll show you why in a second. But I wanted this Maybach before I bought my S600. I personally do believe my S600, because my car has around the same amount of miles, 65,000. This one's 57,000. This car is a 2005, so it's even 2 years older. Now, mind you, it's got some cool stuff on it, but for 30,000, I spent way less than that on a clean title car. The problem is with this car, look up, maybe while we're here, someone, see if you can find. First of all, it's difficult to find. Look up the cost of one door on a Maybach. Okay? Yeah, no, it's just me clicking. Look up at how much it costs to fix a Maybach. It's insane. It's absolutely insane how much it costs. So, all right, and I'll just give you a hint. Like one door cost used cost like half the cost of my S600, and new costs more than I paid for my S600. Okay, so let's see here. I got a bunch of emails. Saeed and Imad, Savage mode here. I'll give you one more, but I want to do a few more. Let me see here. All right, so let's see here. This is a BMW. Is that an IAI? This must be an IAI Savage mode. Let's see here. Whoops, wrong page. Okay. We want to go to IAI. Hey, you didn't miss anything. We're just getting on here. So I want to go through some of the emails too, okay? And I'm going to do it on my phone because right now I've got a few things running. But everybody said that, and Brent, you tell me, but is the connection look better and more fluid than it was before? Let's see here, 535i, 105,000 miles, rear collision. Who's it for sale by? Right here, Infinity Insurance. Okay, so that's good. It's in for sale by the all right, Savage mode. This car, at quick glance, is totally cool to rebuild if you want to rebuild it. Nothing major, easy fix. The reason why it's totaled is simple. It's got 105,000 miles on it. Probably has a tiny, push in one of these corners here. I didn't even really look hard. And for the insurance company to get it back, oh, it might have suspension problem too. Let me see. It doesn't say anything about a suspension. I'm not sure. A lot of times you get little bent suspension pieces. It doesn't mean they're expensive. What does it say? Right tail lamp. Yeah, I would say this is an easy fix. The car has 105,000 miles. It's not worth 19. Maybe if it was like half the miles and clean title. But yeah, that car is an easy fix. Okay. Thanks for the tip there, Daddy Tech. Obviously, I need to do it. Cool, no buffering. Cool. Okay, well, this is, it's again, we're a little bit more limited because what I did is I unhooked the other screen. I think it was a little taxing on my processor. And look, I haven't been into computer, I used to be into computers when I was really young. But I believe that since, let's see here, I believe that, okay, that it was too taxing to have the second monitor running. Pulled it. Okay. So, guys, let's look at some emails. Okay, I'm going to pull them up on my phone here so that I'm not, in case somebody wrote me something they don't want to see. The last one I got was, let's see, I want to get to a Miata. Okay, a Miata. That's kind of fun. Let's look at a Miata. Again, I don't really know a lot about Mazda Miatas, but I know that people like them. And I can tell you just by looking at them what I think. As far as prices go, okay, hail damage. What the heck's gone? That was obviously some hell of a hailstorm in order to set the airbags off, right? Boy, oh boy, this car looks like trouble. And I haven't even looked at it yet. So let me look. Let me look. Oh, eBay. Somebody gave me an eBay link. And Dash Hub. I answered that question earlier, Scrub, about Dash Hub. Not my, I don't want to say anything bad about Dash Hub. I've used Dash Hub and it works. That's all I'll say about Dash Hub. I've used Dash Hub and it works. For right now, hey, check this out. For right now, guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you want to buy something within the next week, and I called them. I'm trying to work out something with them. But just for the first live chat, what the hell? If you want to buy from a broker through Copart, and this is only through Copart, in the next week or so, use AutoBidMaster. Okay, that's the one I would recommend. It's less money than the other one that we discussed, and I like it. So anyway, it's called AutoBidMaster. So let's look at this Miata. So doctored up. I mean, this car's doctored up. I don't even have to, a car doesn't get pushed in and then pulled back out, or maybe it's just pushed in, but this car looks like it was hit. Yeah, this was pushed in, this bumper, and then pulled back out. I mean, I can tell just by looking at it. I'm fairly certain this car was, and it's a bad doctor job too. This car was hit hard enough that the passenger airbag went off. That lets you know. So I wouldn't buy it, especially being that it's a Miata. It's probably got front end frame damage, but it will sell for cheap. It will sell for an inexpensive amount, and you could have a project car out of it. But the whole thing, even something looks off on the seams in the rear. I don't know if it's because I'm using one tiny monitor right now. It honestly could be the case that, but I don't like this car. So no more of this Miata. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan. And again, I'm sorry I keep going back. But all right, Matt, you've asked me, or Andrew. Sorry, Andrew, we're gonna look out on Copart right now. Andrew, on this 2007 Jeep. Let's look at the Jeep. Jeeps, okay, Wrangler. Really, okay, the first thing I notice, and this isn't a bad thing, especially if you're mechanically inclined, this car's got 200,000 miles on it. That's probably why it was instantly totaled, because right now I'm not seeing a lot of damage, but we haven't looked at hardly any photos. So let's go, okay, hit here in the back. No big deal. So, can you rebuild this car easily? Is it worth it? Depends what it sells for. I don't buy cars typically with 200,000 miles. Andrew, if you don't mind the fact that it has 200,000 miles, go for it. You know, as long as you get it for a good price, you're buying a car with a lot of miles on it. Yeah, I know that you can put a new engine or whatever in it, but just look at how disgusting the interior is. I mean, this car was used and good for the original owner, you know, good. They got a car that and they got 200,000 miles on it out of it. That's great, you know. So we good, Andrew? I hope that that helps you out. Oh, I think the side damage is very easy. I think it's like really like no big deal. I don't see anything, but maybe some of the hinges in the door, stuff like that's probably gonna have to be replaced because that door is obviously not hanging on there by anything. Uh, there's nothing major that I can see in here. So obviously it's missing the well, what we would call the quarter panel. But these Jeeps, there's nothing massively dented in here. It's an easy fix. That's a very easy fix. Yeah. Well, if you don't mind, again, the interior is going to be busted when you get it. You can already see the interior doesn't look that great. Maybe it's something that you clean. Maybe it's something you get redone. Maybe you just put a whole new interior in it. As far as a shell and an engine, that probably still works because these Jeeps last a long time. Uh, there's a buying quarter would be a worry. In my mind, I don't think so because it just looks simple. You know, these Jeeps, there's nothing major structurally wrong that I can see on this car, so it wouldn't bother me. This door looks dented in a bit. You can get that repaired or replaced. As long as it goes cheap, it's a good buy. All right, Ricardo, you got to send me a lot number, man. I can't. There's probably a bunch of G8s for sale, and I don't know the auction or anything. So I'll grab an email here really quick. Let me look at the next email. Um, somebody asked, is this a good first car? It's a Nissan 350Z. Let's look at that. 314-18427. Okay, is this a good first car? So it depends what you want out of your first car. You know, everybody wants something different out of a first car. When I got my first car, it was a 2001 Honda Accord, no problems, you know, clean title sort of thing. When I got that car, I was told, you know, you want a reliable car because I was obviously working. I worked at a Sam's Club, and it was like I had to get to work, I had to get to school. I went to USF here in Tampa, and the thing that bothers me about this, it's got almost 200,000 miles. And of course, it's a 350Z, so the person buying it is going to be interested in, they want a fun first car. It's just that you don't know how hard the miles were on this car. The damage is easy. This car is an easy fix. The reason it was totaled out is because it's not worth that much. And yeah, it's just not worth that much. I would say this is a good second car to have. So go, you know, get a reliable first car and then buy something like this that you have the time to work on the weekend, fix up. This is really easy to fix. I don't really have to look at much more of this. The reason why they told it again, 177,000 miles. All right, so I'm going to look at another email. Let's see here. So see, and Anthony says, don't get a fast car if you're under 25. I can agree and disagree to that. Everybody's got different responsibility level, and that's totally beyond this channel, really. But that's up for you to decide. I always wanted a fast car for my first car. My Honda Accord was a V6, and I'll be honest, I got into trouble with it. It was like too fast, and it was just a V6 Honda Accord, 2000. So yeah, that car was like it was a used car. Well, this is an interesting one right here. Used car, and it was too much power for me for a first car. So I do agree that, you know, people. All right, Nate is a rat. All right, Nate, chill out. I got it up right here, okay? This is a Panamera GTS, I'm guessing. Okay. So Panameras. These cars hold their resale value excellent. They're cool cars. I like them. And okay, the first thing I see right here, look at how that wheel is pushed in under there. That is a problem because there's something wrong with the axle, or there's just no axle in there and they stuck a wheel under it. And going down, oh, this car's a mess. Canadian car, it's in Ontario. All right, this car's a mess. I mean, this car's a doctor job of the first order, and it's just a mess. I mean, look at the engine bay. Here's the throttle body hanging out. No air intakes going into it. This plastic's coming up. They didn't even do a good doctor job on it, which is good because it's easier to look at. But this is bad. Like this car is just, it's got a lot of problems. I mean, can you rebuild this car? Sure, but the frame looks all right. This is dented in here. I wouldn't touch. Well, no, this car was hit hard enough and knocked all that stuff out of the front. So let me give you a quick one, like on the Money Pit Jetta. Money Pit Jetta was kind of similar to this. They hung a new fender on, hit hard in the front. All this stuff in the front, like I don't know if this is an intercooler. I don't think this car is turbocharged. Could be. I don't know. These cars got oil coolers. They got all sorts of stuff. All of it looked fine on the Money Pit Jetta. It looked like I was going to have to replace the radiator, any of that. I had to replace everything in the front. So yeah, that car's a problem. I don't like it, but that's my opinion. Everybody's is different. All right, Dima wrote in on an eBay item. Let's look at eBay. That's kind of fun. eBay is usually the place where people go, where dealers go to sell cars to unsuspecting people. So let's look at eBay. Let's see here. Let me open up an incognito eBay because I don't want it to start popping up my account details. Okay, so let's see something here. Guys, there's kind of an eBay thing, like a eBay, it's not a scam. I don't want to say it's a scam, but there's a thing going on eBay, and it's a big issue for unsuspecting people, okay? I want you to look out for this and email it to me if you see it. I'm sure I could find it if I really looked right now, but right now we're doing this, so we'll do it later. So I want to tell you that people will take auction cars, so we'll go back to our picture of our auction cars, and we'll look at this BMW, for example, okay? They'll take this BMW, and again, I'm just taking this for an example. They'll take the same exact photos of the BMW. And then what they'll do is they'll put it on an eBay link. Okay? They'll put it on an eBay link, and then they'll put a buy it now higher than IAI's buy it now. Now, these are the brokers or dealers doing this. So all they have to do, they'll put it $2,000 or $3,000 higher. Somebody clicks buy now on eBay, buys it. They just made $3,000. They call up the auction, they buy it, and they ship it. You know, whatever. They charge you the shipping, of course, on it. So that's on eBay. Watch out for that. You know, on IAI, when you look at the pictures, you can see there's a watermark down here. They can cut that out easily. But in the middle of the photo, there's a really light watermark. And so just watch out for that eBay trick. I'm not a big fan of that. So. Do you guys understand what I'm saying with the eBay trick? All right, Wyatt, let's see here. Wyatt, let's see. Wyatt, what was your email about? All right, here, since Rusky asked me, let's see here, about another Fiesta ST. Let's look at that really quick because I know that car a little bit better. By the way, guys, I'd like a input on one thing from you guys. I recently got a hybrid turbo for my Fiesta ST. Wondering if that build is something you'd be interested in seeing on the channel, or something I should just kind of keep to myself and do, you know, in my own time. Would you like to see a hybrid turbo build on my Fiesta ST? I mean, I didn't build the turbo itself, but I'll be installing the turbo. Chris, I've got a lot of questions on Dash Hub. I've used it and it works. That's kind of my answer. Okay, cool. Well, guys, we'll expect it within the next week or so because I've got the hybrid turbo already. I already installed, or I had someone put the intercooler on the Fiesta. And so, yeah. And somebody said, Lexus LS 460. Jake, quick thing about a Lexus LS 460. I've had family that has had several LS 430s from when they are brand new to 200,000 miles. Like, my only issue with an LS Lexus, and it's not a bad issue, okay? It's too boring. And other than that, call me. I'm sorry. That's why I like the S600. It'll keep me occupied. I'll have to fix it. It's really fast. It's got the most ridiculous amount of features in it. The LS Lexuses, I hate to admit it, are like bar none the best car you can buy. It's just is like if you get in it, you drive it, you do oil changes, you do tire changes, and it drives and it gets good gas mileage and it's reliable. They're unbelievable. There's still an LS 430 in my close family, and I drive it from time to time if I ever got to borrow it. And it's the most boring car ever, but it's 15 years old or something like that, and it's like it drives like it did on the first day. So yeah. So, all right, this Fiesta ST, guys. Sorry, whoever asked this question on the Fiesta ST. Let's look at it really quick. This person, okay. First thing I don't like about this car. The first thing I do not like about this car. Someone stole the wheels off of it. But if you buy it, you're in luck. I have a stock set of wheels for a Fiesta ST in silver, just the wheels only. I'll sell them really cheap. If you want them, hit me up. Send me an email. But I'm kidding too. But realistically, if you want them, I'll sell them really cheap. So, the Fiesta ST, honestly, you can rebuild this car. It's going to be a pain in the neck because it was hit really hard in the front. This is exactly how my car looked, and I learned a lot. I would never buy the Fiesta ST I bought again, but it was such a valuable learning experience. So this car got hit higher up, actually. My car was not hit as higher up, which is probably a better thing. But I'm going to tell you right now, see this same thing. All the same parts are broken on this Fiesta ST that mine was broken. Okay? So so let's check this out. This car was hit up high. I'm just going to show you a few things that I can tell because I rebuilt the same car. Besides the airbags, this is easy. This knee airbag is kind of a pain to take out. Just side note, just because it's fun, to take this knee airbag out, you not only have to have a shallow ratchet wrench, you have to have what's called, or it's a low profile ratchet wrench, you have to have a mid-size socket because the nut that's in there is too deep in. A wrench won't get to it. I tried a wrench, I tried everything. You have to have a deep, it's not a deep socket, and it's not a shallow socket. You have to have a mid-size socket. I bought a mid-size socket set. So that's kind of interesting. Let's see here. Okay, so here we go. This Fiesta ST, really quick, because this is like near and dear to me, right? Couple things that are broken. First of all, they cut the battery terminal on this car. They cut the battery terminal on my car. Why do they do this to Fiesta STs? I don't know. Okay, the plastic is all broken. This is the intake manifold here. See this? There's a hole in it. Same thing happened to my car. This is the sound composer. That's probably all cracked up. The intake box is shattered. You can see part of the filter here. All of the plastic is shattered. The cowl for the hood, or not the cowl's up here. The hood cover is all shattered. This car's got a good 3,000 in parts missing from it. I know because I've done it. And maybe you can buy them cheaper. I got lucky and found somebody that really built their Fiesta ST up. It was awesome. They sold me all their parts. So anyway, this Fiesta ST would be a pain in the neck to rebuild. You could do it. It's probably a better parts car, I hate to say. But the nice thing about it, man, it's going to go cheap. This car is going to be like a $2,000 car. And I think it's worth $2,000 all day for one reason. These Recaro seats you can pull out of here and sell like for over $1,000, well over $1,000 almost instantly. And the engine's going to work fine too. The engine will be fine once you repair stuff like this intake manifold. So anyway, somebody said stop doing ads. Well, guys, I mean, how do you expect me to like eat at the end of the night? Come on. All right. So anyway, sorry, I keep going back to the email. It's what happens. All right, Wyatt. Wyatt, let me get to you, Wyatt. Where did you email me, Wyatt, or what did we do? Tell me what we did, Wyatt. Wyatt. Okay, here we go. Wyatt. Cool. Wyatt, let's look it up. Wyatt, is this on IAI or is this on Copart? Let me see. All right, here we go. Oh, Wyatt, you sent me this truck. Okay. Wyatt, you're going to hate me for this. I don't know about vintage stuff. But what I can tell, let's just look at the pictures really quick. I'll tell you as best as I can. Obviously, that's a major problem. It's sitting really low. This kind of looks like, I don't know, you know, sometimes these vintage trucks are worth a lot of money fixed up, and people will fix them because of that. Let's see here. What's going on in the comment section, guys? You guys are getting a little feisty here. It's cool. It's cool. I don't really care. The glove box. Wyatt. Let's see here. Wyatt said something about the glove box. My question was, looks like the glove box and bottom of the dash was bent, and if the suspension is really bad. Okay, somebody could probably tell me in the comments right now if this car uses like leaf spring suspensions. That's what I'm guessing. The interior is just trashed. I say trashed. Actually, it's not trashed. Okay, sorry. It's not bad. The glove box being bent wide is the least of your concerns of this car. Let's put it that way. The suspension definitely has an issue. The car's probably got, well, it's got rust, you can see. And then that hit in the front corner is bad. I don't know what a 1974 Chevy pickup sells for, so it's tough. All right, Amir's got a great question. All right, thank you for the question, Amir. I know I typed that. I hope you can hear me too. Amir, I would absolutely take a gamble on a high-end German car such as an AMG or an M Series. Have I done it before? I mean, Audi S3. Audi S3 is the closest thing to high-end M Series. I know it's not up there with an M Series. At least a lot of people will say that. Ooh, an SL65. Let's take a look at that. That gets my attention. But yeah, Amir, I hope that answers your question. I did the Audi S3. Audi S3 was pretty much cosmetic. You know, everything I bought was body parts. I didn't have to buy anything in the engine bay. The AMG cars would be a nightmare if it got a really hard front end hit. Okay, so here's an SL65. Guys, this is an awesome car, and I wish you didn't show it to me, because the first thing I thought is, I wonder how much this is going to go for. Should I bid on it? No, I'm not going to bid on it. I already have a V12 Mercedes. I don't need two. But this is a sweet car, man. This is an awesome, awesome car. Good find, whoever found it. Thanks for posting it up. let's see here. So this car, let's look at it. Ooh, see that trunk? How it's not closed? Either yeah, okay. What I don't like here, this car doesn't look necessarily doctored. Is it doctored? Let me see. Airbag went off. Okay, yeah, this car was probably doctored up. Uh, all right, things I see wrong on this car. It got hit in the front end, yet the front end looks pretty straight. It got hit in the front end hard enough to deploy the airbags, let alone the front end looks fairly straight. And I say fairly straight, look at this. This is a clean support. It's not bent in one direction or another. It's not heavily damaged, right? The bumper is completely cracked and missing, but your support is in there for a reason. Now, guys, um, funny, Brent. All right, so guys, check this out on this car. Something that you guys know, the reason an airbag goes off, there's sensors in all over your car, especially in these Mercedes, there's sensors everywhere. But there's like 2 or 4, it all depends, sensors in the front. And if the sensor gets jarred hard enough, it knows and it deploys your airbag. Okay. So those sensors are usually around here somewhere. And while it could keep this good and deploy the airbag, I highly doubt it. These are usually pretty trashed if the airbag deploys. Somebody replace this. And then what I don't like, SLs are a nightmare because of the hard top convertible. If all that's bent up there, see, there's a piece of tape covering this from letting water in. This door is misaligned, which is also misaligning the trunk. This car's got problems. The engine itself is worth some money. This car can be rebuilt. It's going to be expensive and a pain, but when you're done, you got a car that originally cost over $200,000. So, all right, guys, take an email or look at the thing. I got a lot of emails from you guys. A lot of emails. All right, Jay sent me a Salvage CL550. But hey, yeah, okay, just a viewer. We looking at a Mercedes. Let's look at a Hyundai Sonata. Why not? Let's look at a Hyundai. Those cars are, inexpensive parts. Let's look. So chat is live. Oh, that must be an IAI. Sorry. All right, here we go. All right. Guys, let me ask you guys, are you getting tired of this yet? Are you getting tired of this yet? Or are you having a good time? Because I know we keep looking at the same thing, and I'm going to ask a question I asked right when we first started this up. But I'm going to look at this Hyundai that somebody requested. We'll go and do some more of the ones that you requested through the email, and then tell me if you're getting tired of this yet. Brent, I know you're not getting tired of this. But you seem to like these cars like I do. So Hyundai Sonata SE. Okay, let's check this out. Cannot test start with the keys present. So that's always an odd thing why it cannot be test started. So America One Auto Recovery Inc. is selling it. I've never heard of that before. All right, just laughing at something somebody said. Let's look that up. What the heck is America One Auto Recovery? How many people are, you guys got to give me an update now. 261 people. Wow, we got a lot of people watching. America One Auto Recovery. All right. This is professional and accurate, smart, maximally reliable. America One Auto Salvage takes pride in providing reliable and quality service to all of our clients. Our goal is to make adjusters' jobs as easy as possible. Provides national service to our insurance industry with cost-effective, fast solutions, salvage disposal needs. Okay, so these guys are legitimate. They're selling salvage cars. Okay, that's fine. What I don't like is that the car has no airbags. The damage looks, what is it? what sort of damage is this? Vandalized, okay, and a collision. But they cannot test start it for whatever reason. So my idea on this Hyundai, which I'm sure you guys really love Hyundais, but I'm kidding. Sorry, this Hyundai, it's not bad. It looks like somebody really beat the heck out of it. Why they can't test start it? It says it has the keys present, but they can't test start it, and it's got an inoperable digital dash, even though we can see the digital dash is on. Either somebody didn't know what the heck they were doing when they typed this listing up, and this Hyundai's fine, or whatever. So again, I'm sorry, my analysis is getting more vague as I get more tired, but I hope that that gives you a good idea. So, okay, I'm going to grab an email real quick. I'm going to do it on my phone because, again, I'm sorry I kind of switch over to it every once in a while. I'm probably not going to keep these live streams up for long, but let's look here. Ooh, an Audi S3. Isaiah sent me an Audi S3 on Copart. Let me look this one up because, come on, guys. That's something I know a little bit about, so let's look that up. All right, this is a 16, and the VIN ends in, let's see here, 16 S3. There's only one. Is this it right here, 172? This is it. All right. This one came in from Isaiah J. We'll call you Isaiah J, unless your name could be in the chat. Okay. So Isaiah, check this car out. Audi S3. Front is beautiful, great white color, not missing that ridiculously expensive $500 grille. Yeah, so far it's not bad. The only thing is it doesn't say that it's for sale by the insurance company. So what is that? I don't like to see that sort of stuff. This is a nice trim too. This looks like it's a prestige model. Did it say it everything? Or no, it says premium plus. It's got the cross stitch leather. 25,000 miles, same amount of miles my car has. Okay, this is interesting here. Okay. I don't mind this car, but we got to do a VIN check on it, guys. Not a VIN, we're going to do a VIN Google search. All right, let's do a quick Google search. You know, this is the Google trick right here. Because it doesn't say it's for sale by the insurance company, but it looks like an insurance company car. This Isaiah, to give you more detail, because I obviously didn't give you any, this is, you know, going to be bent under here. The unibody corner is definitely going to be bent. You're going to need, obviously, rear body pieces. You're going to need this rear trunklet. There's no saving that. This car has some good damage. The suspension likely is a little bit broken up under here in the back corner. It can be fixed. You just got to find someone willing to do it, or you got to be willing to do it yourself. But let's make sure. Yeah, I don't see anything that's telling us, unless, let's see here, different wheels, right? Yeah, different wheels. So, oh, I don't know if you guys have Amazon Echo, but I think like everybody does. Mine just went off. It must have heard, you know, the name that triggers it. What's up, JRM? What's going on? All right, here we go. Let's see here. All right, Dima is telling me she wants to bid $24,000 on this car. Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys a trick. I forgot what it was. Jeez, I'm thinking about too many things here. I'll think about it in a second here. Let's see here. Dima, we already saw that car, I think. Oh, but I probably didn't go over it. All right, hold on one second, because I don't want my eBay showing up. Let me see here. Shoot. JRM. how many cars do I have? Right now I have, what is it, 4 cars? I have the Mercedes, I have the Money Pit Jetta, which I'm hoping will not be mine at the end of next month. What else? Audi S3 and Fiesta ST, 4 cars. Hey there, hey New Jersey, what's going on? Guys, I'm going to look at a few more cars here. I want to know who in here, most people are obviously interested in buying a car for rebuilding, obviously. Here, I'll look at your Audi TT, James. James, I used to own an Audi TT, and I still kind of, I don't have an Audi TT. I've got an Audi TT that I take care of for a family member. So I know a little bit about them. That's that they bought brand new and originally has a lot of miles, or it has no miles on it. It's one of the old ones, the first generation ones. You might have seen it in one of my videos. Oh, Audi TT, hail damage, a lot of miles. How in the hell would hail do that? That's strange. Well, I don't see any airbags. Ooh, I like that it's got the V6 in it. That's pretty unique. I personally am not a big fan of the VR6s, but it's neat that it's got it because you don't see a lot of them like that. So we'll do a quick check here. It's going to give me that nonsense. Interested in what to watch out for. Yeah. All right, let's look really quick. All right. So that Audi TT looks okay to bid on. The only thing that I have a question of, well, first of all, it's got a lot of miles. And know that a VR6 with that many miles on it, you're going to have to do like if I recall this era of VR6, somebody cares whether I'm married or not? Come on, give me a break. This generation VR6, let me tell you, the chain tensioner or the chain guides in the engine will crack because they're made out of plastic. So yeah, this is going to require some mechanical stuff that hasn't been taken care of already. This is a cheap car. So again, I apologize. I don't remember who asked me about this this Audi TT, but this is going to require some mechanical maintenance because it's got a lot of miles on it. This is strange right here because hail doesn't do that. Somebody might have just pushed it in the front corner. It doesn't really look doctored up, and the engine compartment looks really solid. So I'd say go for it. Couple grand, more than a couple grand, obviously. It's a VR6 TT, but no more than 4 or 5 grand for this car. Yeah, well, it's another dude, so we'll see. Anyway. um, let's see here. Ooh. Let me, guys, I got to do one thing here. Let me change to here. All right. Let me, I got to do something quick here. All right, here, I'm pulling back up here. Let me, I'm sorry, I got a million boxes open on a 14-inch screen right here. Salvage Japanese cars. Gun it. Thoughts on salvage Japanese cars? Um, Probably some of the best because Japanese cars are not only like really thoughtfully put together, they're pretty easy to fix. So, Jack, what's your question, man? I don't see your question. It says answer the question, mofo. I don't see your question, Jack. So, let me see this really quick. Are you buying through a broker? Yes, I am buying through a broker. For Copart, I've used AutoBidmaster is the one that I've used. You find out which broker works best for you because they all do something differently, you know? So, is it really worth buying at auction? That's like such a generic but such an awesome question. Um, is it worth buying from a broker? Or excuse me, is it worth buying through auction? Yes, it absolutely is, and it absolutely can be great, and or it can be really trouble, like the Money Pit Jetta, you know. So it all depends on what you're looking to do, what you're buying, and yeah. Let me see one other thing. So I shut my screen off for a few seconds because I have to do a few things on the computer at this point with YouTube that I just need to log us. Okay. So yeah. Um, Let me just look at one other thing and then we'll go back to. So C63 AMG. Let's look that up. Dima, listen, on eBay. Okay, Dima, I know you've been asking a long time. I'm sorry. All right, let me look at it really quick, Dima. I'm not going to pull it up on the screen here, but I'm going to look it up and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. It's a BMW. You're interested in buying. Dima, is that correct? You're still interested in buying this car? And now you're looking at me like itch my nose and all that. Let's see here. Jack, I don't pay you don't pay like a sales tax on a plate. I just own, you know, in Florida you kind of own plates. So you buy a plate and then you own it for so long. Dima, this car is a salvage title. It's a 2013 M5. Okay, you're not going to win it for $24,000, I think. Is it have a salvage title or what? The thing, Georgia salvage title. Recently, ECU gave up, failed. It's a fast car. Okay, Dima, I wouldn't bid or buy that car without going and looking at it and knowing what an M5 entails. Okay, that car has a lot of sophisticated new style computers, and it's a nightmare if you got to get them coded and fixed. I don't know exactly what it needs or what it has, but yes, that M5 is a trouble car. It's probably worth about 20 something thousand because those cars are obviously very pricey new, but you've got a lot of things that could go wrong with that. So thanks for sending it to me, Dima. I don't recommend it because you don't know the story the guy's telling is true. But like I said, if you have if you can go check it out and you know you're good with those cars, go check it out and then throw them an offer. You know, on eBay the way it works generally is you just throw people offers. You know, you don't really bid. I mean, you can bid on eBay for cars. I've done it before, but just throw people offers. You know. So anyway, all right, guys, we're not getting tired. So I'm getting a lot of different car requests, and I really appreciate it. And that doesn't mean I'm done me saying this. What I want to know is who is here that is afraid to buy not afraid, but is not interested in buying a salvage vehicle or afraid of getting burned buying a salvage vehicle? Is there anybody here that doesn't want that is not interested in salvage title vehicles? They just find it interesting, but they never touch one because they're a problem. Okay, now for all the people that are saying me, and okay, they're crap cards, that's fine, that's cool. So my question is for all you guys. You never touch one. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. I want to know, and I want you to write me right now. And by the way, in the future, we might be able to set this up with like a YouTube live stream slash like a go to meeting, and maybe hopefully do like a one-on-one. I'd like for some of you to video chat. Now, just keep in mind, I used to work in radio, so I understand about call screening and stuff like that. That would be the biggest technical issue is, you know, screening trolls basically. But anyway, I'll let me know. Tell me why you are not interested, or tell me why you're scared of them. I want to know exactly why. I like to address some of that stuff because I find it interesting what different people think. So, so I'm just waiting for a little bit of that to roll on. I was not in sports radio. No, I did talk radio and like morning drive radio, afternoon drive radio, different topics. Let me see. Am I still showing myself? Yeah, cool. But I worked right across the street, right across the street, right across the hallway was a big sports radio station. Those guys are great. So anyway, okay. More damage than it looks. Losing. Please give me thoughts. I'm scared it'll cost more at auction than at a dealer after repairs. Good point. I was wondering, do crash vehicles drive completely different? Okay, that's a great question. That's an awesome question. I'm worried about getting into an accident and won't get the money back. Okay, all really, really, really valid points. I'm going to address a few of them. First one was pretty generic, but a good point, in that you're afraid it's going to cost you more after it's fixed. And I want to let you guys know that's what this channel is kind of about. The Jetta has cost me well within range of just going to the dealership and buying one. And the extra, let's say $2,000 it would cost me, would have been just, I wouldn't have any headaches. I wouldn't be throwing rice bags in the seat, of the car. So anyway, you bring up an awesome point. Yeah, it could cost you more. Now, the second one, somebody said here, I'm trying to find the other one. Yeah, somebody said, I don't want to lose money or anything. Somebody wrote, I'm afraid I'll crash it again and won't get any money. You can always insure a salvage title vehicle, but of course, insurance company's not going to give you full value of the car like it's got a clear title. I'm going to do a video on that very soon, so be on the lookout because there's a few little technical details I'll get into that I find fairly interesting, and I think you guys will too. It won't be boring, and it's not going to be a long one, but you'll get a good idea of why that's an extra risk you take when you rebuild these cars. The electronics geek asked, I was wondering, do crash vehicles drive completely different if they've been and fixed? I think you mean they've been crashed and fixed compared to vehicles that have never been crashed into. Okay. Great question. Great question. Okay. That's a question that a lot of people ask. Do salvage type vehicles drive differently? If it's repaired properly, or even like, let's say 75% of, like, okay, filling a bunch of like body filler, putting a ton of body filler in like a rebuilt car, that is going to cause problems down the road in different areas. It might not if it's done fine, but you don't want that ever. But even that sort of stuff, unless it's like a really like track focused balanced car, isn't going to cause any problems. If your car is repaired properly, it should drive like a car without a salvage title. Without a doubt, if your car is repaired like 90% of it being properly, it should be fine. I'll give you a quick example. Money Pit Jetta is still out of alignment just because I haven't had time to take it to the alignment shop. And again, at this point with all the other cars, I've lost interest in it. But that car, the steering wheel is tilted like this, and the car goes straight. So yeah. Heimer, I think I answered that question earlier. How much do you take off for a salvage title vehicle? Anywhere. I like to, if you can rebuild the car for 50% of the value, all in. So the car, registering the car, also obviously fixing, painting. If you can be in it for 50%, you got a steal of a deal, in my opinion. If you can do it for 40%, you got a great deal. And if you can do it for 30%, you got a good deal. So, G-Unit, have I noticed engine mounts wearing prematurely in front-wheel drive cars that have been in an accident? The answer to that is no. I'll be honest, I haven't. A lot of the cars I have don't have super high miles on them, and I don't keep them long enough to know. But I will tell you this, that yes, you could obviously, you're going to wear the mounts out if anything in the frame is off by a little bit, it's just going to create that much more stress on the mounts. So that makes a lot of sense. I haven't noticed it, and stock engine mounts on most cars are fairly cheap enough to where it wouldn't bother me if you had to replace them a little bit more often. But I will tell you, when I bought the Fiesta ST, the front engine mount, not the bushing part itself was broken, but the part where it mounted into the frame rail was completely ripped, and I had to buy a whole new mount. And it was kind of funny, excuse me, because that part was actually that part was so there was one dealership with one of them in stock. I'm sure there's plenty more now, but it was like one of the hardest parts to get. You can get them now. There's no problem. Can you rebuild a club car? Yeah, I got a club car that needs rebuilding. Let's hear. I was always told. Okay, if the passenger air, this is an awesome question. J.A. Castillo. I love this question. It's a simple one. If the passenger airbag explodes, would you have to replace the whole dash? Great question. There's two types of dashes. There's ones that have, like a leather wrap or like a trim piece and it blows out right in the middle. Most of the time, those on newer cars, yeah, you got to replace pretty much the whole dash. Some of them just sell a section. So a lot of Fords, American cars, they got like a section that just pops back in place over it. You could get it repaired at like a shop. It's going to look probably not that good. But what you could do is you put a brand new airbag in underneath. You put the broken plastic part back over and have them put like a material and wrap it. You could get it repaired. It's going to cost the same amount as like a used dashboard at a salvage yard or less, or it's going to cost less to get the salvage yard dashboard. That is one of the reasons I can absolutely not stand, it's one of the reasons I totally cannot stand buying cars with a blown out airbag on the passenger dashboard. It is a ton of work. I say a ton of work. It's you can do it. It's so time consuming and so tedious to take a dashboard out. It's not for me. So anyway, thanks for the question. Okay. All right. How about this, guys? Five. Let's do 5 more cars and then call it a night. Would I ever buy a clear title car at auction? Of course, yeah. Buying a clear title car is a great idea. There's cars that are damaged just as bad as salvage title cars that hold a clear title. And now you get the benefit of a clear title. The only thing that's sketchy about that is I'm the sort of guy that I disclose everything. Yeah, this car was in an accident. There's cars where the accident was never reported. So let's see, what did this say here? Let me see. All right. So just looking at some of the really like friendly comments we got here. All right. So guys, we ready to look at like 5 more cars, okay? Let's see here. Yeah, I'm getting tired. I'll be honest with you. It's pretty, well, it's not that late actually, but I'm pretty tired. I actually did a video today on whether the rice or not worked, and I just didn't have time to upload it. All right, so I'm going to start with an email here. Let's see. I'm looking here. Oh, I need to change the screen, guys. Let me change the screen. All right. So we're going to get rid of this. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. All right. How many people we have watching right now? 191. Yeah, we're gonna call this in a little bit. How did your username come about? I've been called that name a long time. All right, let's look at a couple emails, guys. Somebody sent me a C63S. I want to see that. Let's look at that car. All right, this is from Rishi. Okay, I'm going to read their email. Hey, Sam. Came across this 15 C63S on Copart. It's a pretty high spec car, 25,000 miles. The damage doesn't look that bad, but the repair estimate is 40 grand. Hence the decision by farmers to salvage the car. It's a run and drive. No airbags, wheel seams, straight seems like it's in the rear. The bid reserve not met. I'm assuming it'll sell for quite a bit more than the $16,000 it's at now. So Rishi, I haven't even looked at this car, and I would guess that yes, it's going to sell for a lot of money. But doesn't mean it can't be a good deal. Let's take a look at it. Dallas, I will eventually sell the Audi. I'm not quite, I really like the S3. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I do like it. So I'll eventually sell it. I'm not sure what, right now it's mine. I'm not doing anything with it. And I'm in it enough to where it's just kind of a fun car to have around. So this is a sick car. Like these are like the greatest guys. If you've never driven like a I have my other Mercedes. I didn't tell you guys, but in the Mercedes video, I've had three Mercedes. This S600, I had a SL600, but I had a SL63 AMG, and it was probably the car I loved absolutely the most. These 63s, now these engines are a bit different, but the old 63s are like German muscle cars. They sound absolutely insane. So, all right. So Rishi, here's the C63. First thing I'm going to tell you, Mercedes parts on a 2015 Mercedes and the fact that it's an AMG are going to be expensive and difficult to come by used. You're going to be able to buy them all day new at the dealership, but that's my first point, is that this is going to be difficult to buy used. Excuse me. The parts are going to be difficult to find used. Now let's take a bit of a closer look at it. Yeah, email, I hope I'm saying your name right. The old 63s, like I said, I had an SL63. You could get a C63 and S63. The old ones, they have the same engine in it. Everybody loves the SLS, the Gullwing. It's got basically the same engine as the Gullwing in it. They sound so nasty, and they're naturally aspirated motors. I typically like a nice turbocharged or supercharged motor. These cars are insane. They sound amazing. They're not the fastest cars, but these new C63s, these cars are super fast. They're super awesome. Okay, let's look at the damage. I'm sorry, we're getting off track here a little bit. So now, the first thing I want to say, and this is Rishi who wrote me on this. Rishi. Rishi, I've got a lot of thoughts swirling around in my head about this. I would absolutely attempt to rebuild this car. And it's for sale by farmers, right? Okay, for sale by the insurance company. So good. Okay, that's a good thing. I don't like that this bumper covers off and there's no front end damage. That's bothering me, but it is what it is. I don't see any reason, because look at the engine bay. The engine bay is really nice. See how all the plastic pieces are here? They're all intact. These intake ducts right here, these are pretty cheap parts. On an AMG, they might not be. But these intake ducts are usually the first things that just get knocked right off in an accident, and then somebody will doctor up, or they'll get all cracked up. They'll just put them back without them on there, because the car will run. It might idle funny because I don't know if the mass airflow sensor's in there, but that's another story. So I don't see that being a big issue. Now let's look at the rear. You're gonna need a new rear bumper. This all looks good, okay? This is too dark for me to see, but I don't see any heavy denting. I do see a little bit of problem with the quarter panel that's gonna need to be fixed. The trunk is clearly out of alignment, but it looks that it could be reused. And other than that, I see a bumper component. Possibly, again, when you get hit from the back like this, you got some suspension. Typically, usually easy stuff, trailing arms and things like that. And they might even be the same thing on a regular C-Class. So I like this car. It's going to sell for a lot. Why the $40,000 mark on the repair? Let's see, did you say it was $40,000 repair? I don't see where it says estimated repair $40,000. I don't see that. But I'm also tired and not looking that hard. I like this car. My guess is behind here, Rishi, where it's like zip tied together. It's pushed in enough to where it dented the tub, where the trunk is, and basically there it's got frame damage. So when you got frame damage, Mercedes, it's expensive. So gaming with Khaled, what's your question? It says, come on, you need an answer. What's your question? 105,000. What's the question? Okay, who knows a lot about Mercedes? Budget, $110,000 S-Class full package, AMG S400 with a missing headlight. Send me a link to my email, Khaled. I mean, I don't know, and if it's a car that just has a missing headlight and a salvage title, it makes no sense. So, okay, so let's look at a few more of emails here. Jeez, let's see here. Lewis sent me an Escalade. Let's check out an Escalade, guys. I mean, those are like classic. I like Escalades. I think the Escalade is probably like the best SUV you can buy, although that new Navigator looks really nice. Let's check it out. Escalade, 2015 Escalade. First thing I notice, it starts, which means that it doesn't go forward or backward. Okay, let's start with that. Let me look at one quick thing here. Um, let me look. Wrong thing. What am I looking? Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at the right thing here. 219. Oh, not bad. Um, let me see one thing here, guys. I gotta just get one message on my phone. If I click that, does it tell me anything? No. Okay. Okay, good. All right, here we go. Escalade. Escalade from Lewis. Okay. What's going on here? All right, here we go. Here's the Escalade from Lewis. All right. Let's check this Escalade out. Okay, so that whole side is just thrashed, but I mean, nothing severe. Ooh, boy. Yeah. Lewis, we got a little problem here with this Escalade. So, Escalade, go for all these cars retain their value very well. They go for a lot of money. Nice car. What I don't like, Lewis, is that it seems like every single airbag deployed in this car. Again, this might be ideal for you. Airbags can start to get expensive when you're replacing this many of them. That's my main issue with this car. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Really cliche, right? Um, I will buy anything for the right price. I mean, if this car sold for $7,100 right now, absolutely, I'll buy it all day long. Thing I don't like is that it doesn't run and drive, and it's got all those airbags out, and it's going to go for a decent amount of money because Escalades sell for a decent amount of money. This side to get fixed from a body shop, if they were going to do so, what body shops do, okay, and see the tires are all popped. This one looks messed up. What happens is the body shop has a computer and it will pull up 2015 Escalade and it will say, okay, damage on the quarter panel, door, rear door, the fender, the bumper, the roof, the this, and they start to type it in and it just starts populating how much paint it needs, how much work it needs, how much time it needs, how much this it needs, and it just starts adding numbers really quick. I could see this side costing you upward, just the side of the car, I'm not talking about anything else, over $5,000 for one side of this car to get repaired. Now again, a cheap shop's going to do it cheaper. An expensive shop's going to cost you more than 5 grand. Just the bodywork on the side, because they're going to blend it all into the front. Who knows if the hood's got any chips, the roof. Anytime you guys get, when a car gets hit, at a certain angle, it all depends on the angle, how hard what it is, your roof can crinkle a little bit. You got a whole nother problem. So basically, this car's got a lot wrong with it. Of course, it's an expensive Escalade. It's got a lot of nice parts in it. I think that this car could very well be rebuilt. You have to get it for a steal. The damage isn't too bad. I hate all those airbags deployed though. That many airbags being deployed is a major hassle, not to mention all the seatbelts. Remember the seatbelt video I did. Every single one of those seatbelts are going to come out. My airbags charges a fair price for them. I think that they're actually pretty cheap, but that's an extra, let's say $100 minimum per seatbelt. Or what is it? $75 minimum per seatbelt. I'm sorry. So, okay. Let's look at what else we got here. Big Daddy, can I buy a used girl with daddy problems or not? It's not at the auction. Johnny Chan, I'm not familiar with the Pickles auction, Johnny. Only really the American stuff. I mean, if you send me a link, I'd be happy to look at it. An internet link, send it to my email. It's in the description box. Okay, Emil's got a great question here. Okay, I got to answer this question from Emil. And Adonis has a question, and Emil's got a question. If your question's really good, I'll follow it up after these two, but otherwise, I'm probably going to end it here. Thoughts on buying an American car versus a German car at auction? For example, C63 versus Mustang GT. Great question. Like I've said, I've had the German cars. I had a 2015 Mustang GT. The Mustang GT is fairly simple to work on. My car didn't have any accident problems, but I did a complete supercharger install, which required taking the front end of the car off, required taking the motor mounts out. I did a lot of work to that car. So I just know that the Mustang, the best part about the Mustang and the Mustang GT, they are so modified that people have stock parts laying all around for them. And I really like the idea. I've thought about it for this channel. We'll see what happens in the future. I've thought about buying like a newer Mustang GT and rebuilding them because they're such good cars rebuilt. And honestly, anything from 2011 forward, Mustang GT related, Mustang related in general, they're good cars. But before 2011, not my favorite cars. The engines, the 4.6 liter is kind of, I don't like it. Some people like it. But 5.0 is a great motor. The cars drive good. They feel good. They handle decently for how big of cars they are. So that's my idea. C63, again, it's an AMG. Parts are going to be really expensive. If you have to take it, one thing you have to always factor, if I have to take this to the dealer because I just can't get one thing done. Believe it or not, out of all the cars I've rebuilt, there's only one car I had to take. I didn't actually take it to the dealer. I took it to somebody who worked at the dealer and hooked me up, kind of, just from knowing everything. Oh, by the way, Bam, thanks a lot for the thing there. You didn't have to do that. Thanks so much, Emil. He wrote Bam. I get it. Emil, I appreciate it. But the C63, okay. I'm sorry, I got a little jumble here. It is expensive parts. Expensive if you have to get it worked on. Let me tell you real quick, the Mercedes that I just bought, it's a 2007, so it didn't come with like Bluetooth in the radio. Well, for them to activate the auxiliary jack in the back of it, which there is no auxiliary jack, you got to buy and pin it yourself. It's not too difficult, but it's kind of annoying. They charge you just to activate the auxiliary input, like $150, the dealership. You can't really take it anywhere else. You could take it to a Mercedes-Benz Indy mechanic, but they charge $100 an hour, so it's still. So anyway, I hope that explains the difference between buying a C63 or Mustang. I love the idea of Mustang. The other thing is, look at how bad Mustang drivers are. They're all over the. No, I'm kidding. The other thing is the Mustang is awesome because there's just so many of them, and I hate to say it, a lot of young guys buy Mustangs and wreck them, so they're at the auction. So Mustang GT, love the idea of rebuilding. Okay, there was one other question here. Theft cars, why I don't think about buying theft cars. Adonis, the reason why I don't really look a lot into theft cars is a similar reason I don't look into salvage cars as much. They sell for such a higher premium than cars that are in accidents, and there's just it's a crowded trade. I've used that terminology in my video, so I hope that helps. Let's see here. How much do you pay for your S3? I said it a little bit earlier, and I know that there's probably some new guys in the chat here. Let's see how many people we have. This is the wrong thing. 209. Um, I said it earlier. I'm not disclosing the S3 cost right now because I'm going to do a video on it. Let me see here. I'm going to switch this back, and let's look one more time. So I want to ask you guys a few questions about the channel, and then let me see here if I wrote this down. Okay, yeah, let me ask you one other question I wrote down to ask you guys. Guys, I will next live stream, we're gonna have better equipment, obviously, to handle this, and we're gonna do a more structured live stream, answering a bunch of questions. I'll announce it beforehand. I appreciate all the emails, and hopefully I'll be able to get to them as well. And I think we'll be live streaming a lot because there's obviously an infinite amount of cars that will come through the auction. It'll be a great time for us to both look at them and learn. But enhanced vehicle, that's a good question. I'll get to that after I ask this question. Let me write that down really quick. Is there anybody here that's bought a car from an auction, from a salvage auction, or bought a car to rebuild before? Ooh, flood damage cars. We haven't talked about that. And yeah, there's a video coming on that. Okay, so tell me, what has been your experience in buying them? I mean, have you had a good experience? Have you had money pit Jetta problems? What sort of stuff did you experience? Because I like to hear other people's stories too. Huh. So Hamir, he bought a salvage Golf, rebuilt it, but it didn't pass. That's interesting. I love a video on step 1, 2, 3 on buying a car at auction. Say we're buying the clean Mustang GT as an example. Yeah, IA forklifts. Jeez. Let me write that down. The forklifts, man. I had on my Lincoln MKC. I got the car. The forklift rammed the rear end lift gate. The car was perfect in the rear. The car was really perfect all around except for the front corner. They rammed the rear of it, and then I called up Copart. Oh, there's no way we did that. Give me, that's the most ridiculous thing. Okay, so you guys want to see a beginning to end buying cars. SSR Nation, best purchase so far at auction is the most boring one. 2000 and let me get this back. 2015 Lincoln MKC with 20 something thousand miles, 22,000 miles. I don't remember, 25,000 miles. And uh-oh, my Spotify is starting. We don't want that to happen again. 22,000 miles. The car was like, let me see if I can get a picture of it up here. I'm going to do a video on this car. This was the best car I bought. It was hysterical that they totaled it. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Here. You guys have probably seen this in my other videos. But I bought this car. Let me see here. Okay, here. This is the car here. Let me switch screens real quick. Right here. Okay, check this out. Can you guys see this all right? Maybe I need to bring this down a little bit more. All right, this is my Lincoln MKC. This was a 2015. I'm going to do a video on it. Okay. I'm just reading some of your guys' comments here. Okay, guys, so check this car out. This is the best car. Somebody asked about the best car I purchased. This is the best car I purchased. 2015 Lincoln MKC. Check it out. This is what it looked like when it was done. Okay, tell me if you guys like this car. This is a boring car. I never talk about it because nobody cares about a Lincoln. But I'm going to do the video on it. Look at the body lines are basically perfect. This car, this is how many miles at 24,700. SSR, I'd like to put APR on my S3. I actually have a tuner for it right now, but I'm not. So yeah, okay, so this is not, this is after it was fixed, okay? Let me get you the pictures really quick. Let me switch off. I'm gonna get you the pictures really quick of the MKC damaged, okay? And yeah, let me do this really quick. Here, I'm just getting this right here. All right, and you're gonna see this car. This is the best car I bought from Esurance. Esurance was the company. Okay, so it didn't have a third row, no. Okay, so this is the car though. This is it. That's the car I bought. That was the damage really right there. Such an easy fix. This car should have never been totaled. This car was $46,000 new. It would have been, if I would have bought it used with the clear title, it would have easily been $34,000. I paid all in, I got it well under 20 grand. Okay, well under 20 grand. And I'm going to do a video on it as well where I'll disclose the exact amount. But I'm going to tell you, for 20 grand all day long, this car in the condition, so it would look like this. You know, let me see, did I leave my other photos up of it? No, I didn't. But you saw the before or the after photos. I mean, this car was, the most expensive part, this at the dealership, this headlight is like $1,500 with all the pieces in it. Jose, what's your question, man? What's your question? I'll answer your question. Matt Dog, I paid in the mid to high teens for it. All in. That's all in. Registering the car and everything. And again, this car would have retailed for 33, 34,000. At the time I bought it, at the time I rebuilt it. Okay, and so somebody asked earlier, I don't even know if they're on here anymore. They said, can you buy a car, leave it to a shop, and still make out? I bought this car, I dropped it off at the shop. I got it back a week later, completely finished with the parts. I bought the parts for it a week later. It's Brent. I think I started an Instagram earlier today. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Brent, message me on YouTube and you can, or email me. I think you already did email me. And then, yeah, we can chat. Okay, Jose has a car. Post your social media, YouTube description. G Unit, I will be doing that. I have Twitter. My Twitter is at SamCrack. And I never use Twitter, but I will. I do get notifications. So if you guys tweet me, for sure I'll see it. But I'm on like I'm never on Twitter just because I don't really tweet a lot. All right, so here we go. This is a car that, who asked for this? Jose. All right. Jose, check this car out. Salvage certificate. These are the most popular, I swear, the most popular rebuilt cars are these um, BRZs. Ooh, man. Okay. That was hit high up enough and is bent enough here. It's gonna be that's a difficult fix. The trunk lid and all that, I can't see. They don't have a photo of what it looks like in the trunk in this corner, so that's tough for me to decide. But that is a pretty difficult fix. Likely, this looks like it's pretty pushed in. And so imagine, I know this isn't good, right? Here, I got a towel right here, okay? We're gonna recreate the corner of that bumper, or not, this is behind the bumper. This is the edge, okay? And again, this is a terrible representation. I wish I had a piece of clay to show you. But push that in, and it's folded like that. When it gets folded, see, I threw the towel to the side. I don't even want to look at it anymore, man. That's a pain. That car's a pain in the ass to fix, and it's going to cost a lot. You're going to have to do it professionally if you're not, professional enough yourself. And a lot of welding's going to go on. A lot of things. What somebody would do is like what they did to my Jetta, and I don't. And then you're going to have the rice situation like I have. They cut the whole corner out of the car and then weld in a new one. It's not worth dealing with, man. I done it one time. It worked. I don't love the idea though. So, Emil, do I do consulting? Um, kind of and kind of not. And it doesn't sound crazy, but there's something in the works where for a very nominal fee, yeah, there's going to be some consulting going on. But yeah, email me anytime. As most people know, a lot of people have messaged me since the last week. This YouTube's done really great. It's slowing down a little bit now, but I need to do a few more. I think more educational videos and a little bit more fun videos. But yeah, in the last week, a lot of people have emailed me a lot of different things, asking me my questions, and if it gets really in depth, I know I've met enough people in the business of fixing these cars that I feel like I have a pretty good idea, and they always have given me pretty good guidance. But yeah, with all that being said, I can always get a decent kind of idea. But I want to make it very clear that these cars sometimes are not what they seem, with the doctor up jobs especially. And sometimes, like on a very mild example, my Audi S3, I had no idea the seat airbag blew out. I'll tell you how much that cost. To get the seat repaired by itself, I think it was $210. That's not including the airbag. The airbag was like another. I bought the airbag used, luckily, out of another seat that somebody had disassembled. But that was a surprise, and that's an extra. Let's call it $400. When you're doing a rebuild, $400 goes a long way. So, Alan, thanks for the idea with the Patreon. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. When you like, when you subscribe, when you comment, that's what helps me out the most. Patreon, too many people use Patreon as like a form of begging. You guys are doing me a favor by subscribing. Um, and another good thing, I put in the link here. Those manuals, those e-manuals that I did the video on. When you're rebuilding a car, they're like so key. If they have your key, if they have your car, you need one of those. That sort of stuff helps me out. Honestly, I make enough right now to buy the video equipment and things like that. And I hope it grows into something more than that. But Patreon, it's just, there's too many people begging on it, and I don't want to associate myself with it. That's my opinion. And I think that there's good people on Patreon. Don't get me wrong. I think that there's a lot of good people on Patreon. It's just that I don't want to, go in there. I'd rather you guys support my videos by watching them, things like that. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos, watching the live stream, and all that sort of stuff. So, well, at this point, let me see. I'm going to check any last straggler questions. This went on for, look, almost 3 hours now, guys. So, Tell me the damage on my entity affiliate marketing. That's fine. Yeah, I like I hope in the future. I've reached out to a few companies myself. I hope that some people send me a car to review, or and I know that it's just not they're not just going to send me, hey Sam, here's a Mercedes, take it out. At one point, people start calling you, but right now I'm still pretty small. I got to call people, right? But I like cars enough that I still want to make it somewhat educational, but very much fun. I know that some of the video, I'm amazed. The one video I did, this second one, I think, how to buy salvage cars for cheap, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen. Again, I say that because it's got the most views. I thought it was the most boring video I recorded, period, bar none. I thought the Tesla ones that everybody hated were much better. So I was amazed at at first it got no views and then it blew up. To this day, it's still getting thousands of views a day, which to me is unbelievable. So Romax asked a good question here. I'll answer that one. Would it be smarter to buy a salvage car to rebuild or part out? Romax, it's all dependent on how damaged the car is. Like the Money Pit Jetta, it would have been an unbelievable car to part out because the drivetrain was so good on it. Like the drivetrain on the Money Pit Jetta is so like perfect. The car starts, runs, drives like awesome. But past that, I've had so many other little problems with it. It hasn't been worth it at all. I could have easily got my money back and then some parting it out. But that wasn't why I bought it. And also, you got to remember, if you part out a car, I'd say like 25% of the parts, this is a really random guess. It all depends on the car you buy. 25% of the parts you're going to sell immediately. In the first month, you're going to sell 25%. And the expensive parts too, the engine, the transmission, you know, major stuff that people need. Past that, you're going to have parts lying around for potentially years. That's why salvage yards have huge yards and they stock all the parts that they know people are going to buy. They house them, and really, that's kind of why. But Brent, what do we want to do? One more what? You need to go to dealer license now. To enter IA. So Alan, you do need a dealer license to use IAI or IAA, but there is a few brokers out there. It's a little bit more difficult, but they're out there. Um, Patrick, a better bid is just a broker that's advertising the cars on their website, and they make it look like they're the auction, but they're not. They're just a broker. Oh wow, 7. That's pretty good. Um, Let me see here. Arsh. All right, Brent, send me the link to the Range Rover, please. Oh, here we go. Is this it right here? Range Rover SVR. Okay, got it. This is on Copart, I'm guessing. I'm going to switch the screen over in a second here. Let me just look at one thing. All right, cool. Hey guys, can I tell you really quick why I kind of enjoy, um, and don't get me wrong, I learned from you guys too. There's a lot of people. Dave was in here earlier, and he had some things where he agreed with me. He was telling me a few things. I like to learn from you guys too, and I hope it again it goes like really full circle here. But one of the big things um, that why I like to I don't want to say teach, but I like to like brainstorm with people. I want to tell you this funny. I had two experiences, and I'm so tired. I'm only remembering one. Well, no, I remember the second one, but the one of them is pretty funny. And if anybody ever lived in the Tampa Bay area, I'm not going to use any names, but you might be familiar with what I'm talking about. Um, I told you I used to work in radio, and one of my first uh, jobs was interning for a very, very, very popular radio show in the area. It was the #1 rated show for over a decade. And there was a feud between two DJs that turned into a legal feud. And honestly, when I started interning, I had no clue about the legal feud. And it hadn't got a lot of press yet because um, it wasn't a big enough feud at the time. And my first day working, I answered the phone and a troll called up and was like, and I have been in radio before, so I dealt with screening phone calls, so it's no big deal. So I answered the phone and the guy started going off and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I hung up on him because it was like, who cares? You get that stuff all the time. It's not a big deal. I hung up the phone and the DJ that was the big deal, okay? He looked at me, didn't know who I was, didn't care to ever learn my name, okay? But he goes, who just called? And because he knew like I was talking to somebody, I'm like, whatever. And I hung up the phone. He goes, who just called? And I told him, oh, some guy said that there's another guy on the radio badmouth you, the other person he was in a feud with. The DJ stormed out of the room, took down my name, took down um, which, by the way, the DJ afterward, we were, very cool. Again, we had no problems. It was my first day there, and could you imagine? They had had this problem on a daily basis, and they didn't tell me. So anyway, that long story that I'm going to tie it in. I really like discussing stuff with you guys because that money pit Jetta that happened to me, I don't want it to happen to you. Like that is the most ridiculous thing that people can get away with that. So while as the radio story, nothing happened to me. There was like nothing wrong with it. Like it's just people sometimes can be like over a little detail. That's a really like little detail. Like everybody should know that people are doctoring cars up at Copart. And it's kind of a little detail, but it ends up being a huge problem when you get it. In the case of like that, I've had so many experiences where somebody didn't tell me one little thing. Hey, if somebody calls up trolling, just keep it, secret. Don't say anything because this guy doesn't need to know. It throws him off his entire day. Anyway, that's the long story. Sorry about that. Look at this guy. Thanks for going to sleep on me. Yeah, appreciate it. Okay, Range Rover SVR, and then we'll finish this up here. That's it. That's the last car we're going to do. Range Rover SVR. All right, how many people did I lose on that video there? Hold on, I gotta. Okay, we're gonna get to the SVR, but guys, you gotta understand. I want to see how many people are still on the live stream after that long, drawn out story. I can't even see. All right, forget it. We'll go back to the SVR. Okay, so this is the last car we're doing tonight. Let's see here. 150. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it. No problem, Anthony. All right, so here we go. On permit, no brand, unfit. Those are all very Canadian terms because this car is obviously in Canada. And let's see here. Okay, cool car. What do we want to know about this car? I'm looking here. Let's see here. What do I see? They're saying that the retail value is 120 Canadian, 14,000 kilometers. It's got some damage, eh? Let's see here. This is a sweet car. I don't see that it's doctored up. Nothing's tipping me off. Okay, here's something I hate that they do, but again, engine bay close up. You can't see anything. Like, come on. Here in the corner, here all dented in. I don't see anything that's doctored up. This lines up really good still for it all being smashed. And let me look at the other side. This lines up perfect and it's in good shape. So, what do I think about this car? The thing that I don't know, because I'm not in Canada, but if you are, call up your whatever the DMV equivalent is in Canada, the Department of Motor Vehicles in Canada. It's probably the Offices for Automobile Regulations or something. I'm kidding. Permit no brand. Call them up and find out what this means. Unfit tells me it's like the equivalent of a certificate of destruction. Yeah, I could Google this. You want to look it up real quick? I mean, the reason why, and again, I don't mean to be rude, but I'll eventually, figure all this out. But here's guys, obviously Google or Yahoo Answers is not the best place to get the most factual answer. That's why I tell you call. All right, look, I'm going to close this out. I don't care what this says because I want you to call the DMV. You need to find out what this car is good and not good for. Unfit tells me there's a problem with it. No brand, unfit. Let me see. Does it tell you here? Sometimes Copart, this question mark will tell us. Yeah, unfit. I don't know. If somebody knows what unfit is, throw it in the comments section. But it could be a certificate. It could just mean salvage. I don't know. But if you live in Canada, call up, find out because that's good to know. That sort of stuff is good to know. Can you please put the VIN in the chat so I can copy and paste it? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Somebody wants to see an M3, huh? Thanks, Adonis. I appreciate you telling me because my screen is so small right now that I can't have a million windows open on it. Guys, you guys still want to look at cars this late, huh? Well, it's not that late, especially if you're in the... Who here is in the West Coast? Who's in California or on the West Coast somewhere? Vancouver, cool. Seattle, awesome. JL, Tampa Bay, represent. North Texas, okay, so it's not that late where you guys are. Brent, where in Florida are you, Brent? Orlando, cool. Europe, awesome. Binky's in Tampa, go Bolts. Dubai, awesome, Adonis. You see some awesome cars there. Let me see, I got an email from... All right, guys, if you want me to look at, you tell me which you want. There's two options here. What time is it? It's not that late. Two options. Option number one, you let me go get a glass of water, which will take me about a whole 60 seconds, and you stay on here. I don't want to see anybody dropping off. And I'll stay on here for a few more cars, or we call it a night and we do it again next week or whatever. We do it next week, next month, whatever. Okay, that's a good question. All right, here. It'll take me literally, let me see this here. Where's this? Let me see, what are we doing? All right, here. A few seconds, all right? All right, so let me fix this screen now. All right, that's how quick I got the water. Pretty quick. All right, let's see here. Let's see this here. All right. Okay, so somebody gave me an email, and it's actually kind of an interesting email. Okay, let's see here. Let's switch back. What are we looking at right now? Okay, somebody sent me an email. Wow, Money Pit Prius, no good. You know, the only good Money Pit Prius is that Prius pickup truck that's in my hail damage thing. Here we go. All right, Matt sent me an email and he asked about the turnaround time. That is a phenomenal question because obviously, you know what I'm going to say. It's going to vary, right? But in reality, and as I'm telling you this, you guys write me, tell me who here, tell me, like, give me. I want two columns. I want you to say body, and I want you to say mechanical, and I want you to tell me, um, would you say yes and no? So I want to see either yes, yes, yes mechanical, yes body, or yes or no body, no. You get what I'm saying. Say yes before each one, mechanical and body. Who here, if they bought a salvage title car to rebuild, would they do the work themselves or would they send it somewhere else? And that's split up into two categories because mechanical work is obviously, you know, with the manual, with the right tools, anybody can do mechanical work. Body work, anybody can do, but it's not going to turn out great if you're not that good at it. So tell me, you can either say yes, yes, it means both. If it's a yes, no, tell me which one's yes, tell me which one's no. Tell me who would work on the car themselves. And the turnaround time, I'm going to give you an answer on that. Okay, so we got a lot of yes, yeses. People would do it, no, yes, body, no mechanical. That's interesting. So somebody would not do the mechanical, but they would do the body. Okay, that's interesting. Body, yes. Mechanical, yes. Okay. Yes, yes. Okay. So here's the answer. If you're going to fix it yourself, you know the turnaround time. You don't have to, you obviously know. Getting a shop to do it. Uh, okay. Paying a shop. Now, this is another. The car industry, it's so sad because a lot of us guys in here, and tell me right now, I think a lot of you guys likely are enthusiasts. You know, I never consider myself an enthusiast, but I guess I kind of am a car enthusiast. I mean, I love cars. I buy a lot of cars, and I just enjoy having them. We're enthusiasts, right? Like we love cars. So why does the car industry kind of have to be a little shady? I'm not saying every angle of the car industry is shady because I know someone will comment on it, but why does the damn car industry have to be so shady? Why are there such bad practices? I could give you a quick example. There is a major, huge dealership. I'm not going to name anything. Major, huge dealership. When they get massive, like if somebody vandalizes a car, they do something, they send it to a little backyard body shop where there'll be no record of it. This happens all the time, okay? They send it to a backyard body shop where they'll never do a record of it. They'll pay them cash. They'll get the car repaired, bring it back on the lot, and sell it as a brand new car. Okay? Now, that right there, to me, is a little, I would say, okay, sell it as a new car, but sell it as a we fixed it special. Sell it at a little bit over cost. Make money. I want everybody to make money. This is America, and well, I live in America. Some of you guys don't live in America, but anywhere you are, the world revolves around us, our work, our jobs, making money, right? But that sort of stuff is so underhanded to me. Okay, but anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I had a point about okay, the time it takes to fix your car. My first experience with the Fiesta ST, I needed the frame. I wanted the frame done professionally on it because I've seen guys stick frames up against trees and use like a puller and all that stuff. And that's actually pretty fun and pretty cool. I'd consider doing it on like a cheap, junky car. But basically, these body shops, they want the insurance jobs before, typically, they want the insurance jobs before they want your cash because the insurance company has an unlimited checkbook and most of us don't. And so what they want to do is go and charge us. They know that it's like private pay in the healthcare industry. That's another mess. Private pay is a substantial amount cheaper than insurance because they can bill the insurance company. So when it comes to going and Yeah, go ahead, Brent. You're cool. The have fun at Universal. When it comes to the oh, you're gonna get off at 12. I hope to be off the internet by 12. Be honest with you. When it comes to how long it takes, my first car, it took over like a month and a half, and then I brought it back for another 2 weeks for a touch up. They took for framework. A frame machine pull, they usually when people can repair something on a frame machine, if you heard of a 5 hour job on a frame machine, it would be a major issue. The car would probably be totaled, depending on the car, the mile, everything. They took over a month because they didn't work on the car ever. The car was probably on the frame machine for weeks, and it probably got touched maybe 3, 4 hours and weeks, and it took a month. So the turnaround time, there's no good answer. If you get a good shop, I got two shops that I use. One of them's good for one thing, one of them's good for another thing. Um, the turnaround time at one shop is amazing. The turnaround time at the other shop is not good at all. And it all depends what your tolerance is, who you're working with. You need to find out because these guys will tell you, oh, yeah, no problem, we'll have it for you in 3 days. And 3 months later, they'll still have it. So, anyway, there's not a good answer to that. But yeah. Alan, want to know about eBay Motors? eBay Motors is cool if it's a salvage car. If it's a car, this is a video, a car. This is a topic I'm definitely doing a video on. Buying salvage cars that are already rebuilt. The big issue with that is that a lot of people, like you guys, a lot of you guys are interested in doing this yourself, are interested in buying a salvage car, rebuilding it, and profiting from it. I tend to do things for personal use because I think there's a little bit of liability involved. You know, again, if you disclose everything, you should be fine. But I just kind of do it for the love of cars, okay? Um, the Serenity, I'll check out your email in a second. The Yeah. Okay. So the thing about cars that are already rebuilt, it all depends on the good rebuild job. I sold the Lincoln to somebody. Again, full disclosure. Here's a salvage title or a rebuild title. The car was inspected. The car passed inspection, no issues. Here's all the work that was done. Let me show you the inside. There's no bends. There's no problems. You have any problems, give me a call. I had zero issues selling that car. The Money Pit Jetta, I'd either have to get somebody call me up and say, Sam, I'm going to take that car for a cheap amount and I'm never going to bother you again, which you'd have to convince me of that by your personality. And number two, really the person that's going to be using and likely buying the Money Pit Jetta is a mechanic, works on cars, knows Volkswagens inside and out. He's the perfect person to drive the car because, again, mechanically, he knows it's great and he needs a more reliable car. But past that, um, there's a lot of different issues to that. So eBay Motors, I don't know if that was your question about eBay, because eBay Motors has everything. It has dealerships. It has guys like me selling. You know, if when I'm done with my clean title Mercedes, I'll stick it. I love eBay for selling cars. I think it's some of the best exposure you can get. So, all right, Serenity, let me look at your email. What do you think of auto auctions like you look at the car and bid on it? Of course, it's ideal to be in person at an auto auction. Hopefully, one day, if I can partner with one of these guys, I'd like to go to the auction and get some shots of cars I would buy and cars I would not buy. The only thing is, I don't know if they'd have an issue. They're going to partner with you, of course, of you saying, hey, I'd buy this car, but look at this real piece of garbage, you know? Um, let's see here, guys. I didn't get an email from Serenity. I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Romax, I did get an email from you. Romax, let me ask, is that your name, Romax, or do you represent Isn't there a company named Romex? They make race dampers for like I know that because I was into Mustangs for a while. Do you have anything to do with Romex? I don't have a dealer's license. I looked into it. I could have a dealer's license. It's not for me. I don't buy and sell. I don't buy and sell enough cars for it to be worth it. And I don't buy and sell cars again. I don't do it for a business. I do it for pleasure. So that's really the main reason I don't have a dealer's license. A broker to me is a couple $100, and it saves me. Well, I say saves me. To maintain a dealer's license is pretty inexpensive, but you have to have insurance every year. You also have to have a place of work and a storage, like it could be an open lot or it could be, a garage, a place to store cars. And so I've talked with a few people. At one time, I was really heavily considering it, and I had two friends basically that I said, hey, let me lease out just one office in your building and we'll put a name on in the state of Florida. This is some of the stuff it requires. You got to have an office, you got to have a place to store and showcase cars. So again, that can be outside, inside, it doesn't matter. But there were a few guys, and I just decided against it because by the time I went through all that effort, it was it's going to cost, let's say, so many $1,000s a year to maintain the dealer's license between everything. And I buy 2, 3 cars a year. Right now with the channel, maybe I'll buy a few more to do some good projects on, so for some like teaching, learning sort of stuff. But still, even at 5 cars a year, it's not dealer material. So, Fabio, good question. Why don't you do an exotic salvage car? Who said I wasn't going to do an exotic salvage car? I'll leave it at that. Um, and by the way, dealer license in different states entail different things. So, dealer license. Hold on, I gotta send this message. Dealer license in some states, like you could just get a dealer license and have fun. Here in Florida, it's a little bit different. Thoughts on buying an exotic at the dealer? All right, Emil. Good question, Emil. I like the question. Thoughts on buying an exotic at the dealer? I got a lot of. What do you guys think of the guy Exotic Car Hacks? You guys ever see his videos? I'm just curious. I'm not gonna. I don't have an opinion on it. What do you think about Exotic Car Hacks? And Emil, I'm going to um, answer your question about exotics at the dealer. I guess somebody must have asked. Um, I guess somebody asked, can you bid on a car, win it, and then whatever? I think if you bid on a car, win it, and then you don't want it, the cancellation fee is anywhere between like $400 and $600, and they take your money, $400 or $600, and you walk away from not buying the car. Okay, so Emil, you paid him, and you're not. Are you still apart? Do you use it? He does his stuff. Okay. Sure. So, and it does seem to me, I mean, the guy owns a few exotic cars. Exotic cars, I'll give you an example. Place that I frequent. I don't frequent the dealership, but I drive by it all the time when I'm in South Florida. There's a place called like Naples Motorsports, and they got some of the highest end, coolest stuff you've ever seen. And their prices are very much increased. But in Naples, it's a very high end area. So guys will walk in and buy a car that's marked up. They don't think about it. They're just like anything. I've bought cars from the dealership, and I think some of them have been phenomenal deals. Some of them have been mediocre deals. Um, Exotic cars, I would always prefer to buy it from the owner, but that's somewhat difficult because say that you're buying a car that's 6 figures and or even 5 figures. In some cases, they don't own it. The bank The bank owns it, and unless you know that person or can, if they own the title, it's one thing. Buying a car that's how the title is held by someone else than the actual owner, you have to be careful. I did it with this Mercedes. I've done it in the past. You have to be extremely careful that somebody's not pulling wool over your eyes, because you can be left with a car without a title that the bank owns, and now you've got a car that you don't own, and you paid somebody the money for it. So anyway, what was I gonna say? So yeah, so exotic cars at the dealer. I've seen good deals on exotic cars at the dealer. You just got to be careful, because there's a lot of guys that will take, like, say, a Ferrari 360 that retails for 60 grand. They'll list it at 80, and someone who just doesn't know their stuff will go buy it for 75, and really it's worth 60 or 65. So, excuse me, there's always a good deal to be had. Even at the dealer, you can get a good deal. Just got to find a fair dealer, because the dealers will. Let me give you a little insight. These dealers pay for like a 360 that some guy just is like coming in and trading for a new Aston Martin or something. He just doesn't care. They'll pay 50 for it. And so for them to list it and sell it to you at 60 or 65 grand, they're getting a good deal. They're making money on it. But for them to list it at 80 and it's worth 60 or 65 or whatever retail, some people just don't know any better, and that's what happens. In exotic cars, there's okay. You're getting me going now, okay? I'm sorry. If you're falling asleep, let me know. Exotic cars, the reason why there's such a differentiating factor between exotic cars, I don't agree with buying exotic cars new, but I'll tell you why in a second. There's a reason, buying exotic cars, the reason why there's such a different, you can see a Ferrari 360 listed in the 50s, and you can see them listed for 100 and a quarter. Besides the huge differing amount of miles and conditions and things like that, the big difference is that not many of them sell. Like every day, a Ford Fiesta changes hands. So there's record. Okay, Ford Fiesta, 3 of them sold today at auction for this much, at whatever auction, Manheim, whatever. Ferraris don't trade hands, but maybe a few times, a week, and older ones hardly change hands. So that's why one guy can ask 80 for a car that's not worth 80 and get 80. That's why. Anyway. Dash Hub. People like this. People like to ask about this Dash Hub. Why do you guys? It's like a very weak, sore topic for me. Dash Hub. I like it. It's because Dash Hub advertised on YouTube, so everybody knows about Dash Hub. I love how everybody's asking about Dash Hub. Oh, your name is Max. Okay. I love Chris Fix's videos. I absolutely love Chris Fix's videos. I've watched them countless amount of times. I think it's clever how he hides his face. He's one of the best guys. Oh, enhanced vehicles. Yeah, no problem. That's an easy one. You know what enhanced vehicles means? Absolutely nothing. It means nothing. Don't even pay attention to it. It's an advertising gimmick. Enhanced vehicle means nothing. What do I think of Maseratis from Heimer? I hope I pronounced your name right, Heimer. Maseratis are very costly to fix. The parts are expensive. I think the Gran Turismo is one of the best looking coupes out there. I think they can be had cheap, and they can be had cheap for a reason, because Maseratis don't do. Maserati's like an all-around car, and they don't do any one thing particularly well. They're not super fast. They're not super sporty. They're not super luxurious. They're not super. I mean, they're Italian, but they're not super Italian. They're not super high end. They're just kind of mediocre at everything. But the styling of them, the one thing they're good at is they look good. And it's a fashion statement. So do I like Maserati? I like the Gran Turismo. I don't like any other Maseratis. I wouldn't even consider a Ghibli. The Ghibli is like the biggest joke to me. I don't know if you guys have seen Doug DeMuro's video on the Ghibli, but I pretty much feel the same exact way. So yeah, as far as enhanced listings goes, guys, when you see enhanced on Copart, notice every single car that doesn't run or drive is enhanced. It means nothing. It is like one of the biggest jokes out there. Let me see here. Yeah, good, Andy. Good idea with the forklifts. I'm gonna do that. That's a great, great idea, and I greatly appreciate it. The forklifts get you every darn time. Yeah, it really is, Brent. Like a Ghibli is like. Let me just see something here. All right. So you guys wanted me to look at a couple. I guess I owe it to you since you let me get that water that I'm completely out of now. It's all good. Um, an email of a Maserati. Adonis, you sent me an email. All right, let's check it out. Oh, Serenity. Serenity. I look. She might not even be here anymore, but just for the sake, she wrote me a million times. Let me write her, and then Adonis, I'll get to you. Let me see. Oh, there's Serenity right there. All right, let's see here. Okay, Serenity's got. I want to answer this question because it's accident related and it's not necessarily auction related, and that's good to know because SSR. That is another good question. Geez, you guys got a lot of good questions. S7 or S class, two totally different cars. I mean, two totally different, but S7 all the way. I'd trade my S class 600 for a S7 like without even thinking about it. Here we go. Serenity's question. I don't necessarily have a question about Copart. My '01 Mustang was backed into on the 2nd. Insurance company sent me to a local shop here, Carcraft Auto Body. Sorry if this story goes south, Carcraft Auto Body. I don't know what's going on. Inspection was done on the 5th and declared a total loss. There's no frame damage. Car still runs and drives safe. How do I keep it? This is an amazing question, Serenity. I'm glad I got your email. Is $2,500 too much for what little has been done? You have more experience in this than I do. If you're the company I would take in Copart, how much would I get with it being older and higher mileage? I don't want to let it go because I put in so much money to upgrading it. Thank you. Okay, now guys, I have to open this email and show you the pictures. I can't see them well enough on my phone. This is a great question. I have a car. I like the car. I don't like the car, whatever the story is. But they declared it a total loss. I want to keep it. What do I do? Okay, this is a phenomenal question. Okay, a crispy email read. Give me a break. Romax, can I answer me? Okay, it's all cool. We'll get to it. If we don't get to it tonight, we're gonna get to it. This is a great. Here, do I have forklift written down on here? Forklift. All right, Serenity. This is an unbelievable question. I love this question. You don't understand how much I love this question. I'm downloading the photos right now, and then I'm going to make them larger on my screen here. All right, here we go. Let me see here. All right, hold on. I'm putting them where I can easily access these photos so we can see them all in one shot. But this is Serenity. She's in the live chat right now, and she has a dilemma. So she's got a Mustang. She likes her car, and it's an older car, so it's a 2001. And I say older. People all different have all different standards. When I say older, it's older by insurance standards. Okay, so by insurance standards, this is an old car. They're going to total it. They don't care about Serenity's car. They don't care about Serenity's baby. They want the easy way out. All right, Serenity. Let me. All right, here we go. Now, here we go. Here's the pictures. Let's go through them real quick. This is the first time I'm seeing these photos. Let's see here. All right, here we go. This looks like a quarter panel of a Mustang to me. That's not even, there's no, I don't even see any damage here. Maybe this, like this will clean up. Get a clay bar. If you get a clay bar, you'll clean that right off, Serenity. Okay. Little crack here on the bumper. Okay, this is the worst part, this dent, which is no big deal. All right. Okay. You guys all get a good look at Serenity's Mustang. Serenity, tell everybody, is this, so now that we're looking at the Serenity, we need to know, GT or V6? I think you told me it was a V6, but I'm not sure. Tell me year, and I want to know the miles on it as well. And I want to know, I think you said you put a little bit of money into it. I want to know what you've done. Replacing things and upgrading. Okay, so you did some upgrades. It's a V6. How many miles? And this is a great question. Okay, Serenity situation or your own situation? I'm going to tell you what you do. Okay, she wants to keep this car 153,000 miles, 2001. And Serenity, did they give you? Did they tell you how much? Did they tell you how much it was? Look, anybody who's interested in being a mod, email me. We'll discuss it for next time. Okay. There's not going to be that many, though. I'm going to tell you, and I don't mean to be whatever. If the channel gets bigger, there's going to be more. So, all right, Serenity. Did they tell you how much the payout's going to be? If they total this car, how much money are they going to give you for it? That's the magic number that we need to know here. Serenity, I'm just waiting for you. We just need to know. No, they haven't told you. Okay. Okay, so my guess is it's not much. And like somebody said, these Mustangs are a dime a dozen. But if you love your car and do not want to get rid of your car, this is what you do. Okay? First of all, find out how much they're going to write you a check for. Find that out because money can change everything, right? I mean, I hate to say that, but if they're giving you 4 or 5 grand for it, you take the money and you walk away from it. The car is really not worth it. I don't know what. Take the upgrades out of it that you put in, take them, sell them, take the money. They're not going to give you that much, though. I don't think. So the insurance company is going to call you with a certain amount. That damage right there, Serenity, I could personally get it fixed. Let me look at it one more time. I could get that fixed. That little crack in the bumper, I wouldn't even worry about it unless it's causing it to slip off. There's definitely a delay, guys. But anyway, what I would do is this. No, the insurance company can be a nightmare to deal with, or they can be awesome, one or the other. You need to get a number. I need to know how much I'm getting for this car. When they lowball you and tell you they're going to give you 2 grand or something crazy, then they're also going to total the car. You're going to say, look, I won't accept that offer. You got to play hardball with them. They'll negotiate with you. Say, I want to keep the car. And I don't know what your insurance deductible is either. But you could say, you could do a few things, honestly. You could say, give me the car back. Because we're talking about like a $500 repair here. I don't see that being that expensive of a repair. Even at like a Carsmetics, they might charge you anywhere from like $500 to $700 to fix that. What your goal is to do is to get that $500 or $700, keep your car and walk away. This is a car that's kind of strange because it's not worth it. In my opinion, it's a car. It's got a lot of miles, but it's your car. Yeah, your tire is $800. I mean, you could pull the tires off of it, put some crappy tires from like a used shop on it that are like 30 bucks, 20 bucks a piece. Take your tires and sell them. But I will tell, I don't think the insurance company is going to offer you that big of a check. So your goal is to just get a payout of I would say $500 to $700. Play hardball with the insurance company. No, you can't. I won't accept that amount because one of two things are going to happen. Somebody said that they're going to offer you $1,500. If you play hardball with them, so you get off their back, they're going to throw you extra money on one end. On the other end, they're going to say, all right, fine, we'll let her keep her car and we'll just give her a few $100 and she'll go away, right? Or you can see, because this car wouldn't sell for that much at auction, to be completely honest with you. Have them total the car out. Ask them, if you total this car out, how much will you sell it back to me for? Because then they might give you a check for $1,500 and then sell it to you for $7 or something like that. But you get the same end result. Now you got a salvage title Mustang with $800 cash. You know, you get what I'm saying. I think play hardball with the insurance company. You don't take yes for an answer on the first go around. You always hold them out. Now, mind you, I don't like dealing with insurance companies. That's the last thing I want to do. And anytime I've ever had like a bump on a car or whatever, I get it fixed typically. Knock on wood, I don't want this to happen. I've never had a car totaled, and I don't. It's kind of like a distressful thing. You think we're taking advantage of a good deal, but somebody was in a bad accident, right? But um, on a little minor fender bender, the insurance company takes care of it and it's done. But when it comes to when you're on the cusp of it getting totaled out, people can get a really good end of a deal and they could get totally screwed. So you wanna, if you think you're on the screwed end, which a lot of people think they're on the screwed end and they're not, but if you think that and you have considerable evidence that you're on the screwed end, make sure you go and you negotiate because the insurance company will negotiate. All right. At auction, yeah. Somebody said it would sell for hundreds of dollars. I agree. This is a hundreds of dollars. Serenity, I got to be honest with you. This is a car. It's a 2001. You say, and this is another great point a lot of people make. I don't want the salvage title. When a car becomes so old and so common, the salvage title hardly matters anymore. It's totally believable when you go to sell it that hey, they salvaged my car because it's not worth much. The car is just not worth enough. I'm sorry, it's just the brutally honest truth. I know that especially like me, I'm emotionally attached to like my Fiesta. I love that car, but it just isn't worth as much. And you got to don't look at it as like a car. Look at it as how much, look at it as $100 bills. How many $100 bills is it worth? So I hope that answers the question, Serenity. Yeah, JL. It doesn't matter at all when it becomes old. Forklift. Guys, what else do you want to talk about the forklifts? Yeah, these guys. Okay, there's good forklift drivers, there's bad forklift drivers. Next. Porsche 911 2013 needs new fenders but has a clear title. Jazz. Tell me, show me, where is it? I love Porsche 911s. That's like Porsche 911. I said earlier Lexus LS is like the best car you can buy. Porsche 911 is like the best sports car you can buy, period, because it doesn't lose any value. Um, it's like, and it's so good at everything, and it's so reliable. So, somebody give me an update. How many people we have left? If we have over 200, I'll stay on, but I think we're kind of winding down here. I think we've had a really good live chat. Again, it's been all over the place, but it's been a lot of fun. 132, yeah. Slowing down, but it's cool. Romax, all right. Romax gets his email. Romax. Where's Romax at? Romax, where are you at, man? I don't see all inboxes. And Adonis. Is Adonis still here? Yeah, Adonis is here. Um, thanks, driving in Utah. I appreciate it. I told you guys earlier, I don't know who's still here, who's different, who's new, but that's really what helps me out. The viewing of the videos, the liking, the commenting. I don't know if you guys know, but every time you like, dislike, comment, it's engaging, and YouTube will promote your videos through doing that. Romax, what's your video about? CL550. Um, and Yeah, I am getting pretty tired. So your CL550 AMG. I don't see an email on the CL550. Get like a gallon of water. Huh? Manuela, good morning. Good morning in Germany. That's awesome. Let me see here. Oh, I see Etukes. I saw you. Let me see. Etukes. Where is this Impala at? Is it at Copart? Talk about my Jetta. You don't want me to talk about my Jetta. The only thing that's interesting on my Jetta is whether the rice worked or not. Who here watched the video of me putting rice in the Jetta from let's say from pretty much beginning to end? Who watched that video? All right. So cat litter in the Jetta. Oh boy. All right. So first thing is, and I think it's hysterical. Okay. All right, Jay. I got your CL550. We'll look at it. I I got the Jetta a 20-pound bag of rice. Right. So look, obviously, since you guys are in the live chat, you guys are the really like I appreciate it like the best subscribers because you're in the live chat. You stayed this long too. Some of you guys, especially you, Brent. Um, so that was a big joke, right? The car is the car. And my buddy who I called him and told, first of all, when it got flooded, I'm like, you know, I was cursing up a storm. I was frustrated. I told the body shop owner, I go, what in the hell's going on here? Like, what did you do? This car is completely flooded, right? Oh, this was his reaction, and I kind of said it in the video, but he goes, it must be leaking from the roof. I go, the headliner's dry. He goes, then it's leaking from the door. I go, but the whole entire door side is completely dry. Then it's leaking from the windshield. I go, all right. I go, he was talking about now, mind you guys, there are drains and ducts that could be a problem, and a lot of people gave me those great ideas. But Matt Dog, there's your shout out. All right. Um, Bill Barnes, are you calling me a piece of that, or are you calling the body shop owner? So anyway, the guy was telling me all this stuff, like giving me all these excuses, and I was like dying. I was like, "You got to be serious? Are you kidding me right now?" So anyway, um, I'm sitting there like wondering what in the he's really coming up with all these excuses. Finally, we found the seam that there was a little hole. Now look, imagine the windshield. Okay, I know that I'm doing a really good job with my imaginary windshield. The water comes right down the windshield. There's two ducts in your cowl. Okay, here, let's look at this Impala real quick so I can show you. The cowl is up here, guys. So like the cowl, here's the windshield, here's the cowl. It comes down. There's holes that drain down onto the ground. So you're not getting it in your car. Well, my holes were there. He looked at the holes. He goes, oh, that's where it's leaking from. And I'm going, no, it's not, because if those weren't there, then I'd have a real flood issue. Well, right to the left of one of those ducts was a little seam, okay? A really little seam. Um, Bill, no, I'm not. There was a little seam, but I will tell you, I have a lot of friends that are, and I don't know, maybe you should put it in a nicer way. Maybe say, are you Jewish? Don't say that. Seam, okay, that was open. And he's sitting there calling all these things. It was this, blaming it on everything. I was dying. So anyway, um, the rice in the Jetta was a big joke. I like the reaction of some people thinking I'm like crazy, but the guy that is going to be driving the car, I called him. He said that's a hysterical idea. You should definitely do it. So I had the blessing from everybody to go ahead and do it. Of course, it's still my car, so I can do whatever. And honestly, at one point, guys, the My Bit Jetta might just become like a shrine to the channel. I might never get rid of that thing because it's kind of what got me started, if you want to know, on this channel. So anyway, let's look at this really quick. What kind of question is that? So, no, Bill, this is ridiculous that I'm even addressing this. When I used to work at Sam's Club, a lot of older individuals would come up to me and go, they'd ask it just like you asked it. I'm not going to say it on the live stream because I'll be chastised by somebody on YouTube for doing that. Even though this is like a 4-hour live stream, I don't know who's going to go back and watch it. But yeah, I've been asked that question like several times. I don't take it. Look, I take offense to nothing. You can write like anything, but that doesn't mean like start writing anything because there are moderators. They're going to delete you. But anyway, all right. This Impala. Somebody wanted me to look at the Impala. I saw that it was for sale by State Farm. 40,000 mile Impala. Quick little note: these new Impalas are actually really nice. They're basically, in my opinion, I've driven the Cadillac XTS a few times. I'm not a big Cadillac fan. This is basically the same car, in my opinion. There's like very little difference between the two. So we got airbags. This is a rear seat airbag. See, these newer cars are coming with more safety stuff. Curtain airbag, airbag. Side damage, you're going to need new doors, or are likely going to be the easiest thing. There's a lot of these as rental cars, so you're going to be able to find those parts easily. I think that this is a good rebuilder. At what price, that's for you to decide. I don't want to give you a price on it because I don't know prices on these cars, and it's for you to decide. Nice car, and as long as you're okay with repairing the airbags, I'm okay with rebuilding the car. Whoever sent this to me, has to be okay with rebuilding the airbag. So who we got? Jaden, you send me. Romax, you send me. Romax, got the email from Romax. Let's check out Romax's email. And guys, listen, I'm not going to get to everybody's email, to be completely honest with you, because there's still, every time I look, I'm getting a few hits. It's a quite amazing look. I opened this, I started this email today, okay? I'm going to show you really quick. I'm just going to do a quick, where in the heck is here we go. No, I want this inbox. All right, look. I started this email today at 1 o'clock here. That's how many messages I've gotten. And most of them are in the past, like, hour. So, Trump or Hillary, that's a great question. You know I'm not going to answer that on here. That's a great question. Don't get political here. All right, here we go. Romax had a question. Okay, Romax, thanks for take care, Advertext. Let's see here. Here we go. My mom just bought a new 2016 VW Beetle convertible 1.8 Turbo S, and I want her to upgrade the headlights and taillights to LED ones. Also, we want to upgrade her wheels. Anyway, how should I buy them? Salvage or new? Romax? That's Romax question. Okay, about buying parts for his mother's Volkswagen. Hey, what's it called? Really quick, Brent, people want to talk politically, let them talk politically. It doesn't bother me. Leave it. That's not a big deal. I don't care if you like Bernie, Trump, Hillary, doesn't, whatever. I have a big opinion politically. One of the radio stations I used to work at was Political Talk. It's fine. Let them do it. Okay, now, the question was from Romax. He wants to buy LED headlights and taillights. First thing I'm going to tell you. Romax, tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. You said buy them salvage. Are you talking about buying like a whole salvage car? Are you talking about going to the salvage yard? That's what I need to know. Are we going to the salvage yard and buying these parts? Are we buying a salvage? Thanks, Adonis. I appreciate it. Are we going to the? Are we buying a salvage car and taking some parts off? What are we doing? Because I'm not. I need to clarify that. Salvage yard. Okay. So the LED lights, first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, aftermarket LED lights, they're like, if you really, really, really want them, they're like cheap on eBay and Amazon and all that. Buy them. The quality on them is usually not that good. When I bought this Fiesta, I got a set of headlights that had LED headlights in them. They burnt out like 1,000 miles into me driving the car, and they didn't have hardly any miles on them because I bought them from somebody on the forum. They weren't that good. Now, the next question, he said he wanted to get an upgrade of wheels. And so wheels, wheels are wheels. You go on any website, eBay has a bunch of really sharp wheels. I took a set of wheels off my 2000. This is not my car. I bought a car for um, someone close to me, I'll say. And it was a Volkswagen CC, and it's got rims on it. Talking about that person, let me text him. I bought a set of, or I didn't buy the wheels came with them, and they were inexpensive enough. Volkswagen like knockoff replicas, which are fine for your case, I think, cost like they cost like nothing. They're like $250, $300 for a set of wheels. So. Dash Hub. Oh my God, that's the number one asked question. I Dash Hub. Does that answer the question when I say Dash Hub like that? Okay, David says, why don't you get the car inspected by the dealer? It's $90 and you would save time. I don't get it. David, for kind of like, I don't know if that's how you, in what tone you're asking that question, but forklifts and Dash Hub. I love it. David, first of all, I don't know what dealer you're going to and getting a $90 inspection because that's a worthless inspection, likely. But all right, we're getting late now. I'm gonna look at that. The last car I'm doing is the CL 550. I think it was a CL or CLS 550. A Bentley rebuild would be fun. I won't do a Rolls Royce rebuild. I'd consider a Bentley rebuild. Hey Sam, technical question. Is it illegal to buy color changing headlights, halos, and have the red color on? I don't think it is, as long as you're not color changing them on the road. What were we talking about? We were talking about not Dash Hub. We're not talking about Dash. Oh, the wheels. I think Romax. I answered your question. Salvage yard is cool, but make sure they don't rip you off. All these salvage yards, all these ridiculous salvage yards. Let me give you an example. I went to go buy wheels because those hideous wheels that are on my Mercedes. The salvage yard had a nice S class, or not a nice. They had a beat to hell S class. They were probably like 200,000 miles. But it had a nice set of wheels on it. They were like AMG wheels. They might have been fakes though. I'm not sure. And I'm not opposed to fakes, but not for the price they wanted. They were all pitted and like scratched. They wanted 200 bucks a piece for them. Now, if they're legit AMG wheels, they might be worth that much. But they weren't on an AMG car, so um, let me do this really quick here. What are we looking at here? I'm going to change this. I'm going to open up the CL550 really quick that I got an email on. CL550. Jay, I hope that this is on Copart, because if it's not, man, well, it's going to be on IAI or Copart, so no big deal. All right, here we go. Oh, this is like, Jay, near and dear to my heart, man, Mercedes-Benz CL. This is one of the best. I say everything's the best, right? But I'm biased because I have an S-Class. This is like one of the best looking cars made, right? So this body style is kind of like classic to me. It's the new S-Class coupe is way better looking, but this one is kind of timeless. So let's see here. Jay, all right. Jay, what do you want to know specifically, yeah, like all CLs are like the bomb. Like who uses that word anymore? The bomb. I did because that's what these cars are. Jay, what do you want to know exactly about the CL 550? Let me see this car here. Okay, so first of all, the AMG badge means nothing. I'd like to just tell you that. This car looks like it's had a nice used up life, but you could bring it back to life. You could clean it up pretty nice. Just like my thoughts on the car. First of all, I love CLs. Second of all, it's a Mercedes with 140,000 miles, and it looks like it does have what is called the ABC suspension. All right, come on, Bill. Give me a break, all right? So, Bill, come on. You know that Brent is going to is gonna block you soon if you keep it up. So anyway, the CL, this car has an ABC suspension. I think it's called ABC suspension. Yeah, Matt Dog, the Rice video will be up tomorrow. I just been like today testing the thing and whatever. So anyway, the ABC suspension is a major pain in the ass if it's broken. And this car kind of looks like it's sitting low, which is not a good sign. Now the damage is fairly straightforward. You know, you got to get the airbags taken care of. Again, that's a lot of disassembly inside, but we don't have any front airbags, so it's not too bad. Car's got a lot of miles on it. These engines are fairly reliable. The V8 is fairly reliable as long as it's maintained well. Past that, a ton of little electronics that go bad in these cars. And that's about it. This door is going to be expensive because they are, but this car is worth, with 130,000 miles, to me, with a clean title, it's worth no more than, I mean, a high end would be 18 grand because it just is, you know. The ABC suspension, by the way, guys, I've had quite a few of, let me see something here. All right. The ABC suspension. It is really amazing, but it is so over-engineered and so over-designed. It's like terrible. So anyway, yeah, sorry, Bill. I think you're out of here. Yeah, SL55 has the same suspension. It does. I had an SL600, same suspension, old SL600. So guys, I really hope you watch the live chat. If you're watching the live chat and you're not subscribed, I gotta ask, what are you doing, right? Let me ask you. I asked a few questions and people wrote in. If you're watching the live chat and you're not subscribed, do me a favor. Yeah, you know, Bill wasn't too like, the funny thing about Bill, he wasn't like too vulgar, right? Like there were some guys that got in here and were a little ridiculous. Bill was just being a goofball. Bill, hopefully we get you next time, buddy, but come on, respect the live chat. What was I gonna say? I hope you get ripped off on Copart. Yeah, I hope you're talking about Bill and not me, because I've already been ripped off on Copart. But anyway, all right, guys, if you're subscribed or if you're watching this and not subscribed, I'm assuming everybody here is subscribed. I appreciate it. If you're not, please hit the subscribe button. That's like what's getting this channel going, and I greatly appreciate it. We'll do another one of these soon, especially when I get a more updated setup. This went a pretty long time, and I appreciate it. I was your 8,000 subscriber. I even have the bell icon to see when you new video. I appreciate it, Alan. I really do. My father's S600 Maybach has that suspension, and it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, it is. We're removing body cladding when respraying car and then respraying the cladding. Diego, tell me what you mean by cladding. I think you mean like the trims, right? The trim pieces. Is that Jacob? You're gonna get the Rice video tomorrow. The cladding is like the I'll send out an Instagram very soon, probably tomorrow or the next day. I said she wanted to hi, congrats and hey, thanks a lot, Carmaster. Okay, so Diego, cladding. Do I recommend removing the trim? Yes, if it's a car you want like a really pristine job on, yes. If it's a car that you don't care too much about on, it's not worth the time. Because I say that you can do a good enough tape job, and again, it's all relative to the sort of car. So there's one build that I'm considering doing for this channel. And guys, this is when I started this channel, I think one of the reasons why well, I don't want to say that. I think that it was a little bit of more of a niche channel at first because you see me, I had a Volkswagen Jetta with an Audi S3 with a. Did I have another Volkswagen in the picture somewhere? I had a Volkswagen CC in some of the videos. So like all Volkswagens, right? But I don't. I'm not an all Volkswagen guy. I do like German cars and I do like Volkswagens. And where in the hell was I going with this Volkswagen talk? But anyway, it had to do with taping. Oh, there's an older Volkswagen. Tell me if you guys would be interested in this. This car that somebody's kind of like, again, it's a deal and somebody's offering it up to me. Is it? And I don't really. I'm not interested in older cars. It's a 2007. Um, it's a 2007 Golf MK, or it's a GTI MK5. And it's actually original owner, clean title, a ton of miles, like 170,000 miles. And the only thing that's like majorly wrong with it is the body. Someone keyed it all over. With that, oh, Bill is back. Bill, hey, Bill. Bill. All right, Bill. Bill, I might just stay on here for you, brother. What was I gonna say? Um, it's a GTI. I wanted to do a video on it. For one of the most expensive things you can get done on these cars are Kill Bill. One of the most expensive things you can get done on rebuilding cars is the paint jobs are really expensive. I wanted to do a video on the GTI about, well, you know, you see these Mako paint jobs for $300 and they always come out like garbage because, well, when you pay for the $300 paint job, it doesn't come with prep. So I was going to do a video showing you guys how to prep a car for a $300 paint job so it turns out good. I don't know if that's interesting to you or not, but yeah, Bill, Bill, you should run for president. All right, Bill, do me a favor, Bill. Can you just take this live stream over, please? Alec, next live stream, I'll announce it on the channel. Bill or Trump? I feel like Bill and Trump are the same guy. Oh no, listen, Anthony. Painting it myself, I don't want. You have to have a paint booth. You have to have the right equipment, and if you don't, it turns out like crap. It just does. Bill Nye the vulgar guy. So, all right, guys. Hey, this is it. I appreciate all the emails. I will look at them later. I really appreciate you guys joining me for this live stream. Again, if you're on here, especially you, Bill. Bill, if you're not subscribed to me, then what the hell are you doing here? But Bill, are you subscribed to me, Bill? I need to know that before you leave, or before I leave. I just got a Bentley salvage for this is worth 25,000. That's good. Tail bands. It depends what sort of Bentley and how much it's really worth. And it matters how much the damage is too. Bill, you're subscribed. Okay, thanks, Bill. A decent paint job for an entire car. If it's like a mid-size and up car, you're talking minimum $3,000 for a good paint job. That's why I'm telling you the $300 paint job. It's garbage because nobody preps their car before. You can get a decent I'm saying decent $300 paint job on a cheap car. We're not doing this on like the Audi S3 or even the Money Pit. The Money Pit Jetta's got a nice paint job. That's the one thing on that car. It's actually decent. Yeah, Bill, what do you, Bill? Listen, I got to get Bill's opinion on two things before we leave. Bill, what do you think about forklifts and dash hub? Bill, come on, man. A Ford Raptor would be an awesome car to rebuild. Bill, I need to know two things. Dash hub, fuck. Okay, that's all right. Bill's got. All right, guys, we're gonna end it right there. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This went a very long time, way longer than it should have. I appreciate it. You guys have a great night. If you aren't already subscribed, subscribe now. Rice video is going to be tomorrow. Rice follow-up video, and perhaps maybe some new Mercedes wheels in the next few days.